Well, when I started this series 32 episodes ago, I wanted to make sure that I left everything natural and I kept everything natural. So here it is. I have my tea this morning and I have my organic honey to go with it um, because my body said so. I was getting ready for the show today and it was like, well, what do I really want? Again, not here. Asking your body, what does your body, what does the body really need? Oh, okay. Chamomile tea, it'll relax you. There you go. And you're doing something not so stressful anyway, but still it's difficult because you have to read. Welcome to episode 32 of Learn to Unlearn, a quest for healing. Yeah, indeed it is. It's a return to healing, and it's a natural healing that we're after. And it's a quest, the quest of healing. There you go. In a natural form. And this show is just a basic chronicle of what happens every week. And surprisingly enough, there are things that go right and wrong every week. Today, well, I'm going to be reading a little bit, so don't mind me because it's really important for me to read to you. And this is kind of a structured episode because I sat there in my lazy boy yesterday and I said to myself, what do I want to talk about? What's really, really important? What would I like them to talk about if it was not my show? And I came up on bullet points, and a couple of them, for example, are forming new habits, and more water and more water. And I want to explain those two first because it's really important that we get things straight and that everybody knows what I'm doing since I'm here doing my shows every week. It'd be fun for everybody to know what's going on. So about forming new habits. This is what has happened ever since I started healing. Your body starts to want to eat different things. All of a sudden it's like you're not in control anymore up here. It's your own body deciding. So everything's different. It was greens, and it was thanks to a doctor that started me on greens and almost made me vomit on greens for 5 days. She said I only made it up to 2.5, and I said, "What are you trying to do? Kill me?" And she said, "No, that's a detox," and it sure helped. And after that, it was greens. It was developing a taste for teas like I had for a while in my past, teas and avocados as well. Other stuff. It tends to help you develop better eating habits, and it's a lot wiser too. Now that the spirit is attentive to the body and what the body wants and needs, and that is so important. And talking about what it needs, well, I have to tell you, they say drink a lot of water, right? Not fluoridated water either. Again, forming new habits, hanging around good people that that want your best, not the ones that are that are hard to be around or that are difficult or that are negative. Or spirit is very attentive, and it's really, really important. Water, yes, we were saying before I get straight off course again by something else. Water is really, really important. It's a purifier, and we've heard it a lot of times from what's behind me. Water is life. Water is sacred, and it's really true. We are made of how much percentage of water? Over 90%, as most people already know. So everything adds up. So the body's always trying to heal itself, right? Okay, what does it need? It needs herbs. It needs spices. It needs good things, good natural things for it. Not try and eat less out of a box. I heard that one time and it stuck with me. Eat less out of a box. I thought that was so cool. And more out of nature, and more out of your friend's garden or your brothers and sisters' garden. But drink water. It's very important. Even if it's, water with lemon, the lemon juice, or put a lemon in it or a lime in it, whatever. But water is really, really good. And it really helps. On a spiritual side, because of the fact that bringing myself back to health and thinking positively and living in the middle, like my grandmother used to say. The truth is somewhere right in the middle. So if somebody tells you one thing and you believe another, chances are the truth is straight down the middle. I was blessed to do a 4-day fast at / prayer retreat in the mountains of Quebec, along with the Mi'kmaq, who were getting ready for their Sundance, and they had to do that 4 times in 1 year, and then they do the Sundance. I was invited to go there. I could have been a future dancer, but I chose not to go that route at that time, and I so happily agreed to do that. And it's like I said, 4 days and 4 nights in the mountains, no food, no water, with a sweat lodge every day. So, which is a community sweating renewal experience every day at 6 o'clock, and people were there, medics were there to help people with diabetes going through it. There were all kinds of really, really good things. It was done with good intention. So, long story short, I saw firsthand what healing can really do to the body. You are in charge. You are there because you decide to stay or go. It's up to you. You learn sacrifice. And it's through appreciation and prayer and just gratitude. And you're by yourself. You can leave anytime you want. The car is right there. And at the end of the 4 days, I asked if there was a 5th one. They told me no. All the way through that process, it was like I was appreciating how I was learning how to appreciate the body's natural way to want to heal. So when people talk about moderate fasting nowadays, or 24 hours or something, but you drink water, that's fine. Your body does it, it loves it. It welcomes it. That's what we have to be doing. It's loving our body, really. It's taking care of it, and it actually eats its own fat cells up. It's really, really good for it. And the trick, I think, in everything else is to want it, not to be told to do it. You're enjoying the ride. It's for you and only you. And you're learning how to grow inside because that's what you want, and you heal. And this is what this journey is all about. Creator willing. You're not there for someone else. You're not doing it because somebody else told you to go do it. It's sacred, and it stuck with me, and it became a way of life, So now when we eat, we give thanks. Everything we do, we give thanks. You peel an orange, you give thanks. It's like animals, plants, vegetables, fruits, they're literally giving their lives so that we can live. That's a concept that we should discuss sometime. The other thing I wanted to touch on really quickly today was learning to live the difference. Yeah, the difference between being lazy and sitting down on the couch and not doing anything, and overdoing it. Well, I'm guilty of both. So I'm here saying I have experienced it both. I can help with that. Yeah. And it's knowing when the body needs you to lie down and to be quiet, like my grandmother used to say, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Balance, right? Slowing down. Some days not doing anything at all. Of course, some people aren't so lucky to be able to do that with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, or, incredible busy lives as they have. But I was blessed to be able to do that. And you're talking not moving. You're talking not moving because you can't move. Your body cannot move. You have a tube coming out of you. Actually, when I woke up in the hospital, there were 3 of them coming out. So yeah, pamper yourself. That's very important too, especially when your body is sending you signals that it needs it. And then some days when you feel good, you push yourself a little harder. Go to the range a little bit longer. You try new things out, new ideas, new plans, new objectives, new habits. This is what it's all about. And you're going to grow with that. If you sit back and you say you don't feel good and you're not doing anything, that's exactly what you're going to manifest. But if you sit there like a fool on camera with your coffee, or your tea, sorry, and your organic honey, careful, don't hit the microphone. um, you can't fail, right? So if I do go, it might be because I get hit by a car or something. The joke was between my 92-year-old neighbor who has cancer in her nose and through her face that's crawling all over her, and she has a really hard time living, but she's so courageous that I find good energy from her and positive, uh, positive intention from her. So we become really good friends and helpful to each other. So, uh, she's a real inspiration for me, and she has it a lot worse. So she's 92 as well. We the joke was between the two of us. We didn't know who was going to outlast who. We didn't know who was going to go first. That's how scary it is because you could have an internal hemorrhage and you wouldn't know it. You do something wrong, you carry too much weight, or anyway, it's all about knowing, because all of those are unknowns. What I just said, oh, you didn't know how much you could carry. Oh, you didn't know what not to do. That's going to invite what I call, they're not accidents, because I don't believe in accidents anyway. They're not coincidences either. They're brought on by your own ignorance. So it's really important to understand, as scary as it is to be on your own, yeah, as scary as it is when you're bleeding and you don't know when it's going to stop. Like today, a couple of times I had to sit there and keep washing it and keep washing it and keep washing it and waiting, and it was bleeding and it kept bleeding and bleeding, and it didn't want to stop. Of course, you're not feeling any pain, you're not feeling woozy, you're not feeling lightheaded or anything. So everything's okay. You don't have any symptoms, but it's still scary as hell because you don't know what's going on. And this is what this is all about. My show is about sharing what it's like to heal on our own. When, let's say, there's no electricity and no hospitals or no ERs or anything, like I said in the last show, this is what we should do. We should be trying to develop a new way of being, like a metamorphosis, and to change our complete way of thinking, way of living, way of acting. Can you imagine if we were good people and all we did was do good for other people? That'd be incredible.